From the Borough at Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin, it's Chucking It Up with Eric and Dan.
Welcome back to Chucking It Up. This is episode 23. And I know it's Monday, but a big happy Thanksgiving to all the supporters of Chucking It Up, the friends of Chucking It Up, the fans of Chucking It Up. If you like Chucking It Up, you follow us, you subscribe to us. Happy Thanksgiving. We're thankful for you.
Yeah, you won't hear this till Monday, so Thanksgiving will be over. But we're recording this on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So yes, happy Thanksgiving to all our listeners, your families, and everyone. We're going to, since it is Thanksgiving, it is the season, we're just going to rank our top 3 Thanksgiving Day side dishes. Have a little fun with that. And then after that, we have a really fun interview with the one of the newest members of the Party Animals, which is a banana ball team. Former Chuck, played in 19. Is that right? Yeah. So, and that was outfielder TJ Reeves, played at Alabama. Yeah, really fun interview. And yeah, he gives us a lot of insight on banana ball, even stuff I didn't know. So if you're not 100% familiar, you'll learn a lot there. And yeah, just a good interview all around.
Yeah, really cool interview. I learned some stuff too and left the interview a party animal fan. So let's party on.
Yeah, exactly. We had no allegiance to any team in banana ball. So we just kind of became party animal fans. So now we have
There
a
is
rooting
another
interest.
former Chuck on the bananas. His name's skipping off the top of my head, but TJ's our dog,
Yeah,
so let's party on.
Yeah, the banana ball draft was held a couple weeks ago now at this point, and yeah, TJ got selected in the 6th round, I believe. So very cool. And yeah, he just gives us a lot of insight on how that works, because obviously banana ball is a lot different than, well, it is similar. It's very different than just the normal game of baseball. No one's doing a backflip to catch a ball in baseball or batting while wearing stilts or anything. So
Or bouncing the ball between their legs before they throw it to first.
exactly. So a little more fun, and yeah, he gives a lot of insight on that. So very cool interview. I told Eric that I never thought we'd be interviewing 2 banana ball players within our first 25 episodes, but Pat Vendetti played for the the Savannah Bananas in banana ball, and now TJ for the Party Animals. So very cool. But before we get to TJ, like I said, we're gonna give you our top 3 Thanksgiving Day side dishes. Do you want to start?
Yeah, we'll just start. We'll go 3, then you'll give your 3, and so forth until we get to 1. So my 3 is going to be stuffing or dressing, whatever you call it,
Yeah, I think I'm going to go same thing at number 3. Personally, I don't care if it's coming out of the turkey or if it's, a box of stovetop. Either way, it's delicious.
Do you like raisins in it?
Not a huge raisin guy, but I don't mind it.
Okay, good. I knew you weren't a raisin guy, but
I know some people, look down on you if you use stovetop or anything from a box. But those people just want attention, in my opinion. Still just as good.
I bet they back their cars into parking spots as well, so.
Exactly. Sleep with their socks on.
That's just psycho behavior. So
don't sleep on the box stuffing. Very delicious. But yeah, that is clearly
the brownberry stuff in the bag is good too. So
yeah, it's all good. So
number 2 is gonna ruffle your feathers. I know we're not gonna agree on this, but mac and cheese comes in at number 2 for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely not even.
Dan hates noodles. Dan hates noodles. Everybody literally hates noodles.
Yeah.
Literally.
I hope we don't lose any listeners right now. But yes, I don't eat any form of noodles or pasta. And people are always like, oh, not even lasagna or not even, nothing. 0 exceptions.
Not even if there's a fire, Dan is not eating a noodle. No.
Not even if
He
there's
would
a fire.
Die.
And there's
If it would save his life to eat a noodle, we all better say bye to Dan.
There's zero situations where I would eat a noodle. So mac and cheese isn't even in my
Well, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is mashed potatoes. It's a staple.
That's my number 1. So
And
mashed potatoes, 1 for me.
Yeah, you can take a bite of your turkey, scoop some mashed potatoes with it. You can do a lot of things with it. You can add gravy if you want.
Ranch and mashed potatoes, and then you stir it up. That's a
agreed.
solid move. Don't sleep on it.
You can add some
shredded
stuffing in there. You
cheese,
can exactly
some bacon bits.
So
not the imitation bacon bits. Get those out of here.
No. Have to be real.
Right.
But yes, that is number 2. And
so
clearly Eric's number 1.
That's my number 1. So we can go right to your number 1.
This may ruffle some feathers as well. But my number 1 is the green bean casserole.
All right. See ya.
Absolutely. I'll finish this by myself if I have to. I will go to bat, no pun intended, for the green bean casserole. It is delicious. And I'm not like casually eating green bean casserole throughout the year.
Take it to the trash.
No.
Sorry,
it's
take it to
Thanksgiving.
The trash.
It is delicious. I will say I'm not a mushroom guy either. So we skip the cream of mushroom soup. I mean, I'll make it with cream of chicken, cream of celery, cream of cheddar, anything. But it is so delicious. Those French fried onions on top.
No.
That's number 1.
No. Like, I'll eat it. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate it like you with noodles. But you can throw that dish out and the Thanksgiving dinner is still going to go on.
Yeah.
You get rid of mashed potatoes and it's like, is this Thanksgiving? Like, no. Get green bean casserole out of here. You can microwave that stuff and it'll still come out okay. Like, get it out of here.
No, I love it. And if you don't have that at your Thanksgiving, you won't see me. That is a must at any Thanksgiving dinner.
Is ham allowed at your Thanksgiving?
And again, only for Thanksgiving.
Is ham allowed?
Is what?
At your Thanksgiving?
We are having ham and turkey tomorrow. I am a turkey guy.
Thank goodness.
Nothing against ham.
Your turkey's got to be fried, right? Turkey's got to be fried or it sucks, right?
I do like a fried turkey.
But will you eat it the other way?
I'll eat it.
It's called.
I'll eat it in the oven
dry
or however,
and disgustingly. Okay, so you're one of them.
Well, as long as you baste it in the oven as you're cooking, it should be fine.
No,
you won't catch me frying a turkey. Too risky for me. But if you know someone who knows what they're doing, serve it up. Fried turkey is delicious. I think ham's more of an Easter thing. I mean, it'll still be at ours tomorrow. And I'm not against ham, but it's got to be turkey on Thanksgiving, in my opinion.
I love debates here. And we all know the last question that we ask. Corey Thompson, I know he listens to the pod. He was trying to tick us off this week. This week he sent us a menu in Florida where under sandwiches was a hot dog. Like, if I didn't have self-control, my phone would have went through the wall.
Yeah, I don't know.
Florida is different.
I don't know what place that was.
It's Florida. That should tell you enough.
But you won't catch me there.
No, it pissed me off.
So
I'm about to leave a Yelp review just because of it. But I don't know the name either, so.
And I mean, I don't know if Corey just wanted to antagonize us or what, but it worked. So.
But in his defense, he did say pineapple belongs on a pizza. So, Corey, we'll meet in the middle, okay? But that's all for another day. We could have a podcast episode just about those fun debates. Like, how many holes does the straw have? We're not going to get into it, but we're going to toss you off to TJ, and you can learn about Banana Ball and hear about his summer with the Chucks, which he did say was one of the best summers of his life. And it's the first or second non-Corey player we've had on after Pat. Weird that they both ended up in Banana Ball. But thanks for listening, and enjoy the interview with TJ. We'll see you guys.
Yep. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Joining us next on the pod is former Wisconsin Woodchucks outfielder and one of the newest members of the Party Animals out of Banana Ball. Please welcome to the pod, TJ Reeves.
What's going on? TJ? Hi, y'all. What's going on?
Welcome to Chucking It Up. And yeah, we'll start it off with the big news. The newest member of the Party Animals.
Yeah.
Draft
Yeah.
in the 6th round of the Banana Ball draft. How did that work out? How did you decide to enter the draft for Banana Ball?
So honestly, the last 2 years that I've kind of been playing independent ball with the y'alls, they've kind of been on my tail. As you can see, like 2 years ago, right before I kind of started playing indie ball, I went and played like a weekend with them and kind of had a trial run, I guess you can call it. And ever since then, I kind of been on their radar. And after this season was over, I kind of decided that I was going to pursue this instead, continue to play indie ball, I should say. So it's always been on my mind. I've always had an interest in it. And I mean, it's gotten so huge now. It's kind of like if you're not hopping on a train now, you're going to be late to it. So I'm on that train right now and trying to get ahead on it. And I think in the future, honestly, a banana ball is going to be the new thing for a lot of guys that are not in the affiliate ball era.
So did you know you were going to get drafted? Or did you have like an advisor saying like, yeah, you'll get taken, or were you just going in hoping?
I didn't necessarily know I was going to get drafted. In my mind, I had a pretty good feeling that I was going to get drafted, though. Just like I was saying, because of the history that I had with them, and then just that belief in myself, honestly. Kind of going to the tryouts and then kind of just comparing myself to the other guys that were there and kind of just getting an idea of it. I know it was about 160 players in the draft pool, and only I think about 80 something got drafted. So I was blessed enough to be in that 80.
So from like you were mentioning how you did the trial run with the Party Animals, did you have a good feeling that if you did get drafted, it was going to be by the Party Animals?
Yeah, yeah. Simply because I played with them in the past, and I had kind of had already good ties with them, I would say. The other team that I was really interested in was the Indianapolis Clowns. They were a new team that kind of came to Banana Ball League, and they were a Negro League team, and they're kind of getting a lot of African American players kind of to like fill their team to like bring back and rejuvenate the vibe that the Clowns had back in that day. So that was one of the teams that was kind of really heavy on me right before the draft, and I was really interested in them. So I knew one of those two teams were probably going to take me. And I was also right on that line from being day one and day two. So I was constantly getting calls right in that area. So I was ready for it.
So were you like sitting around watching the whole draft, just waiting for your name to be called?
I kind of had an idea of when I was going to get drafted. Like they told me, they kind of give you like a mock draft, a couple mock drafts that they do. So I knew I was right in the middle between day one and day two. So day one, I was definitely just kind of waiting and watching to see if my name was going to get called. I had my family here at my house, and we just kind of had it on the big screen and just kind of waiting. That next day on day two, it wasn't streamed, but they gave me a call right before the draft started. So I kind of knew I was going to be one of the first kind of picks on day two.
So going back to 23, I believe you played with them, right? Is that correct?
Yep, 23.
How different was that from playing the normal game of baseball your whole entire life and then going to this? Not a circus, but it is, but still playing the game of baseball with all these added fun rules.
Yeah, it was definitely different, especially for me because I was kind of straight out of college. In college, I kind of had like a old school straight nose coach, and we were always kind of like we play the game the right way. We always do the right thing, and things will kind of work out for you. And then you get to banana ball, you necessarily don't do it the traditional way all the time. You're gonna do it the fun way and make sure that the fans are involved and they're kind of having fun first. And it was definitely a different experience for sure. I mean, I definitely liked it. At the time, I was, kind of not on the train of kind of, not continuing my affiliate ball dreams at the time. So I was still trying to chase that, but I've kind of grown past that now. I mean, not necessarily saying I'm giving up on it. It's just I'm more taking a different path now, and I can impact the youth and the fans in a different way than I ultimately saw it in my head. Always growing up, I was thinking, you got to get to the big leagues. You got to do this and that to have that impact that you want. But with a banana ball, it's opened up so many different lanes where you can have such a crazy impact, not just by being a great player, but also being a great person or just a person that the youngins, really look up to, not just, your Vladdy Guerreros or your Aaron Judges. You got you guys like I don't know if you guys like Coach Rack or Jackson Olsen, those type of guys. They're impacting the little kids way more than Aaron Judge is nowadays. So it's just opened up a new lane for all kinds of baseball players that want to continue this path and their path in baseball where it's kind of got stopped. So it's definitely a great opportunity.
So to get into banana ball, I mean, obviously you can play baseball, but did you have to like get the because there's so much more in banana ball. It's not just the game. There's the
hmm
entertainment, the dancing, the all that stuff. Did you have to like learn some of that to be? Do they look at that before they draft
So
you?
they definitely, I would say, like in the tryouts and beforehand, they definitely want you to like be yourself and kind of show your personality a little bit. They want you kind of be a little bit of an open book as well. I mean, essentially, they want all of us to like just to be open to anything. Honestly, they don't want you to kind of just close yourself off to and limit yourself to one thing. And I think that's kind of the beauty of it. Honestly, it's so many lanes that opens up for different types of players because everybody has a different personality. So like, each player kind of has their own unique niche that they can have and they can choose that and use that to impact whoever they wanted to. So it's definitely encouraged to have, more of an open book personality. As we get on a team, they have kind of like coaches and people to like help you with like, all the social media kind of things, things to like post and edit and all those types of things. So they definitely encourage that, and then that only not only grows your band, but it helps grows them as well. So it's kind of like a win-win for kind of both of us.
What was your acting or entertainment background, if any, in your life up until this point?
Zero. Zero. The only entertainment that I was giving off was my performances. And that was the entertainment. I'll just let that speak for itself. But I've kind of had to learn how to get out my comfort zone a little bit, be in front of the camera and be comfortable in front of the camera, honestly. That's one of the biggest things. I mean, you got videos on their Instagram hitting like 5-6 million views sometimes, and then when they're streaming on YouTube, they got 1 million views on the YouTube streaming their live games. And then at the games, you're playing at, say, like the New Orleans Superdome, and you're gonna be playing in front of 90,000 people inside of a dome. So the noise is gonna be there. Everybody, all the eyes gonna be on you. So you just got to get in that comfort zone and get out of it, and just accept that's what it's gonna be. And this is what you sign up for. You sign up to impact the fans. You sign up to be a fans first person.
So does it just go by like a season to season basis, or are you like signing like a multi-year deal or something like that?
Yeah, it's definitely it's a year by year thing right now. I'm sure in the future, as time goes, they'll have something like that. But since I guess Banana Ball's kind of new right now, they're just doing year by year right now.
And if I saw correctly, so at the end of the year, the fans and the coaches get to franchise certain players that played on their
hmm
team. So then
Right.
if you don't get franchised, you would have to enter the draft again next year, I would take it, if they did it the same way.
I'm assuming they're going to do it the same way this year, since I mean this was the first year that they had the draft and
Mhm.
they did it like that. So I'm gonna assume they're going to do that next year. So I know last year, 44 players got franchised since it was 11 players from all the teams, and they only had 4 last year. It'll be 44, and then this year, since they got 16, now they be 66. And I think next year they plan on maybe adding some more teams because I think they're planning on adding teams until they can't stop. Because this is gonna be the new thing now.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? And this year they're having a whole banana ball league now, whereas they're having a championship and they're having actual rankings and all this and that. So they eventually, I'm sure they want to get like their own 30-team league by the end of it. where they can be their own entertainment system.
That's awesome.
How many games will you play?
We play, I think it's around 60 to 65, something like that. We play mostly just on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday, through Saturday. And most of the weekends, we're on the road traveling, which will be pretty fun because we have some pretty cool road trips in there. We'll be on the road for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, where we'll go to Cali, then shoot up to Seattle, and then come back home to Savannah, and then we'll go to New York, hit New Jersey, hit Massachusetts, and come back. So we have we got a pretty good schedule. It's gonna be pretty cool.
So when you're not on the road, like, is your family in Savannah or just you?
So it'll depend. It's some trips that Savannah will pay for, and then it would be some trips there I have to go maybe, I don't know, half and half on. And they don't get to go on every single trip, but they'll be living in Savannah with me. So anytime that I'm in Savannah myself, I'll be with them, which would be nice. It'd be very nice.
Yeah, so did you ever think that's where you would end up in Banana Ball?
Not growing up. I wouldn't even say maybe like a year and a half ago, honestly. After after I won Rookie of the Year and Outfielder of the Year in 2024, I honestly thought that affiliate was calling my name. But, God has other plans. And, he's always going to steer you in the right direction. So, honestly, last year, I didn't even think Banana Ball was going to be a thing for me, especially kind of not really turning them down after 2 years, but, kind of pursuing another route. And I was just blessed enough that they still wanted me and they still liked me enough for me, to still get a chance to go to the tryout and show my personality and show myself. So that was a blessing in itself, honestly, right there. But I definitely didn't see myself like a year ago in Banana Ball.
Yeah, because me and my brother were talking earlier when we were taking notes on you and stuff. And we saw your stats and we're like, how did this guy not get drafted?
Yeah.
Your stats are up there. They're good.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, it's baseball's it's a weird thing now, especially kind of after COVID happened. You gotta fit in where you get in. Honestly, it's got to be at the right moment, at the right time, and an organization may need this thing at this time. So it's a lot of ifs in it nowadays. Which I think that is why a lot of players now are kind of moving to banana ball. I mean, I'm not even the only player that's went from indie ball or affiliate ball to banana ball because man, it's just a lot of players that kind of are realizing that it's hard. I mean, if you're not in the big leagues right now, it's kind of it's kind of hard to make that living or have that financial security, just for your family, honestly. And this with banana ball is going to be a heck of an opportunity to do that for your family. And a lot of guys are, they're just like, I mean, I'll be dumb if I don't take it. So I think that's kind of what it's moving to more than any ball. Uh, but yeah, it's gonna be a lot of head turns and a lot of changes. I think over the next 5-10 years in baseball.
Yeah, so even coming out of high school, you were like highly rated, like the top rated outfielder in Alabama. And then every stop along your way, you like pretty much lived up to that hype. Like you killed it at every stop, even, these summer leagues. So did you ever get any attention from any major league teams?
Yeah, I definitely did. I definitely did. Come out of high school, I did. I think out of high school, well, I know out of high school, I was more on going to college than I was trying to get drafted. I think as me and my family, we just knew I just wasn't ready to go straight to the, affiliate ball league out of high school. I wasn't mature enough. I wasn't into my body enough and physicality and mentally, honestly. And Bama was also my dream school. I had one of the best offers there to go to school there. So I wanted to go to Bama. It was a hometown school for me. It's 40 minutes away. And I think everything kind of worked out for me there. And then once things didn't work out there, once I went to Jacksonville State, that was kind of another perfect opportunity for me because that was another school that heavily recruited me out of high school as well. So I was very comfortable there, very comfortable with the coaches, and ended up having 2 great years there, and I loved every moment of that. And scouts were definitely on me then. I think it was more of me being an older guy in the draft, because that was like kind of right after COVID, so they were kind of iffy on a lot of the older guys and drafting those guys because they wanted to get every single pick right and make sure all the money goes right and all the money is accounted for and all this and that. So I feel like I just kind of always kind of got stuck in that middle ground where I wasn't needed at a certain position, but I was good enough to be there. It was just it didn't work out and didn't work out in the pieces didn't fit together at the right time. And I think I kind of fell victim to that, which I think a lot of players do because I see a lot of great players my age, around my age, that kind of get left to dry just because things kind of didn't work out for them or the pieces didn't fall in the right places for them.
So, speaking of summer leagues, like my brother mentioned, can we talk about your summer up here in Wisconsin?
Oh yeah, for sure. That was
So
one of my
how'd you
favorite
get
summers.
so how'd you get connected with the Chucks?
So I think honestly, my coach at Bama at the time, Brad Bohan, he was connected with Wisconsin Woodchucks. I'm not exactly sure, but no, it was actually my assistant coach, Jerry Dooley. So he had connections with the Chucks, and I think he had connections with the head coach. Actually, his name was at the time was Ronnie Richardson, which I'm still very cool with it to this day. He had ties with him, and soon as the season was over at Bama, I mean, that my freshman year we sucked, so we were one of the first college teams to be done playing baseball. So soon as that was done, I took like maybe 3 or 4 days off of baseball, flew straight up to Wisconsin, and got straight to playing. And that was one of the best summers I've ever had. That was, the Northwoods almost treated like minor leagues. So we're playing every single day. And I was, getting used to that grind and just being used to being in that environment every single day of playing baseball. And that was some of the most fun I ever had. I mean, some of the guys on that team I still talk to this day, which is crazy because now that we played on that team back in 19, it'll be times where I played against him like Nate Bidet. I've played against him so many other times in so other different leagues. And now he's one of my good friends. I've always talking to him. I like who else was on that team? Jay Petty. He doesn't play anymore, but he's one of my good friends now. We still talk to this day. I mean, we've made so many good relationships on that team. We're just being together every day and just creating those bonds. It was fun. It was definitely fun. And then some of the teams that we played against, like the Mallards, that was one of our favorite teams to play against. Go there and play, and then you beat up on those guys. That was always fun. So, um,
Yeah, and you killed it up here in Wausau. You were
for
like third
sure.
in runs, first in home runs, third in RBIs, third in batting average, first in slugging.
But not an
So
all-star.
Yeah,
I looked it up. I was
yeah.
like, are we sure that he wasn't an all-star? And you
I
weren't.
was,
It's like,
I was an all-star.
oh, you weren't on the roster when I looked.
Oh, as
See, you
well.
would have been in the intro. I would have put that in the
Yeah,
intro.
I was an all-star, and I hit in the home run derby that
All
year.
right, well, I'm
It was
re-recording the intro before this comes out. Now I'm ticked off. But happy
yeah, we
for you that
had.
you were, because I was
Thank
going to
you.
say, with these stats,
Yeah. We played in we had the home run derby in Waterloo that year. I'm pretty sure we had the All Star event at Waterloo, Iowa.
So, had you heard of the Northwoods League before you came up
Yeah,
here?
yeah, I definitely have. I always knew that was one of the leagues. It was one of the top leagues to come to in summer ball. The Northwoods, the Cave, and it was another league that I can't remember at the time. But I know the Northwoods is in the top 3 leagues to be in for a summer baseball player, and I was very excited. I was going to it for sure. Especially all the games that I knew we were about to play too. I was more excited about that. All the ABs that I'm about to get. So that was more fun.
So, was that grind a surprise to you, or were you? It sounds like you were expecting it and kind of ready for it.
I was definitely expecting it. It's still honestly a surprise. You never been through something like that where you're playing every single day and you're getting up and doing the same exact thing. You gotta have a great routine that you go by. Um, because it does get monotonous, and if you're not in the right mindset, you won't be doing things 100% by that middle of the season because you're doing the same thing. You got to be disciplined enough to have that routine and stick to that routine where it gets you ready and gets your mind and body ready physically and mentally to play that game and play the best that you can every single time and not just go through the motions and not just, get today over with so you can make it to the next day. You want to, you want to give your best every single game. So it was definitely something I was expecting for sure. Something I wasn't used to yet, but it was something I was expecting, and I think I kind of adjusted to it very quickly.
We hear from a lot of guys that we've had on here and they all say, like, if you don't love baseball, don't come to the
Oh
Northwoods
yeah,
League.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. Don't come to the Northwoods if you don't like baseball. I mean, honestly, that's just baseball and professional ball. Period. I mean, the Northwoods League is like the junior affiliate. Basically, you're gonna play every day. You're gonna have a lot of games. You're gonna have a lot of ABs. That's the beauty of it too. Honestly, I mean, with having a lot of ABs and having a lot of games, say you have 2 bad games in a row, you're still gonna have 3 or 4 more games later that week that you can kind of turn it around. So that kind of taught me there that there's always a game tomorrow. Don't dwell on that game. It's not like football where you gotta wait a whole week and you only play 18 games a year. You're playing 72, 90, 96. So, you know, that was the beauty of that.
Yeah, what was it like playing for Ronnie Richardson? You said you're still really close with him.
It was cool. It was cool. He definitely kind of let us be ourselves. That was one of the first coaches I've had that, wasn't worried about everybody trying to look the same, everybody trying to do the same thing. He was a very individualistic coach, and he wanted you to be yourself, and he wanted you to play your game because, that's going to be the best version of you. And that kind of taught me that, to not try to be something that I'm not, play within my game, and that's going to be the best thing that comes out of it. And you never know what comes out of that. You can be the best hitter on the team without even trying to be the best hitter because you're playing within your game, not necessarily trying to be Aaron Judge or trying to be Juan Soto at the plate, but simply because you're helping a team in a certain situation, getting those 2 RBIs when you really need those 2 RBIs to get in during the game or making that play in the outfield, diving and getting your whole team hyped. Like just being you, being that type of player, not trying to be somebody else. He really taught us that. And he really taught us just not to be afraid. I mean, honestly, because in the Northwoods, there's good talent. There's good arms in the league. There's guys in that league, and you're in that league for a reason. You just didn't get chose to be there just to fill a spot. Like you're in there for a reason, and you're one of those players that are expected to perform. So, just helping us realize that we are those good players, and we are those players that the next players that these guys look up to. So we need to not necessarily just play that way, but think that way. And he helped us with that too. He was a very mental guy. Then I wouldn't say he really didn't care about mechanics or anything, but he knew that was another part of the game. Like we're kind of past that level. We're getting, we're growing up. We're going to be to where our mechanics are not going to change that much. It's a mental game. Baseball's 90% mental that people say, and that's the area that you kind of got to dominate. So he really taught us that, and I'm thankful for that for sure.
Was that one of your first summers of like being on your own and being away from home with another
So
family?
that was my second summer right out of high school. I played with a team called the Midland Redskins out of Ohio, Cincinnati, and they were kind of like one of the bigger travel ball teams coming up. And that summer, I stayed in Cincinnati, Ohio, with a host family. So I kind of was used to being with the host family, but not playing as many games, I would say.
Do you still stay in touch with your host family from Wausau?
I do. I actually just talked to Mark the other day. I don't know if he's actually still hosting,
What's his last
but
name?
Furman, I
Yeah,
want to
he's
say.
the coordinator for the host families.
Yeah, he was coordinator back then, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
still
too.
is. Still going
So
strong.
yeah, he's a great guy. Honestly, I love living there. He had a cool setup back there. He had a little man-made lake in the back, and It was nice. I used to go back there and lounge all the time, me and my roommate back then. So it was very nice. I actually just talked to him the other day. He congratulated me when I got drafted, brought up in the party animals. So it's cool. Cool.
So I see in 2021, that summer, you went to the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League. How does that compare and stack up with the Woods?
Compared to the Woods, I would say the competition is good. It's a lot of more young talent in that league, I would say. I was one of the older guys in that league. I was kind of a late addition. Uh, I think that summer I was coming off of 2 injuries. So, 20 at the end of 20, I had ankle surgery, and then 21, I had wrist surgery. So I kind of had like 2 surgeries within 6, 7 months. So I wasn't even going to play summer ball, but then I decided to, and that team kind of had an opening for me. So I went and played there, and we didn't play as many games. I think we went to play about 45 games. It was cool. It was fun. I was one of the better players in that league for sure. I think simply because I had a little bit more experience than most guys, and but it was fun. I wouldn't say the competition was as good as the Northwoods, but it was definitely some good baseball. If you're collegiate player, that league is not a bad league at all. Not as big, but it was still fun. Still fun, and I had some great host parents in that league as well. I mean, every league that I've played in, every summer team that I played on, and every host parent I stayed with, honestly, it's been great. I haven't never had any problems with any host parent, so I've been blessed with that, honestly. And I've stayed. It's crazy, kind of to think about. I've stayed with like 5, 6 different families over the last 5, 6, 7 years. It's kind of crazy to think about, but yeah, I've never had any problem with anybody.
Was there any consideration for coming back to the Woodchucks for a second season?
Yes, it was. After the 19, I wanted to come back to the Woodchucks, but that's when COVID happened, and I was in between of going to the Cape with New Orleans Firebirds and coming back with the Woodchucks. And then once COVID happened, I mean, everything kind of went out the table in 2020. And in 2021, I wanted to go back to Woodchucks, but it had got too late in the roster spots. It had got full already. And I was just trying to find a spot to play because I didn't want to just sit around all summer and not play after almost not playing that whole 2021 season with all the injuries that I've had and stuff. So I was definitely wanting to come back for sure.
Was that tough for you, having so many injuries in that short time span and not playing? And
it was definitely tough for me. Like I said, I think that was one of the pieces that wasn't, fitting into the puzzle at that point. 2021, I had 2 or 3 injuries that year, and that was my junior year, which was my draft year, which I was the youngest, at my youngest point to be able to be drafted. So during that time period, I just wasn't playing, so I just didn't have the stats to prove that I kind of belonged in that area. And even when I did play, I just never could get in a rhythm. It was always, I would play a couple games here, have a good game, and then I would get hurt. And then when I would come back, I wouldn't be the same. Things like that. So it was that year was definitely tough for me, for sure, mentally, physically, just knowing, that was my draft year. But, I had to realize that, God kind of had a different plan for me. So that's when I, try to take my talents to Jacksonville State, and I made the best of that opportunity that I could. I can't be mad at that.
Yeah, speaking of Jacksonville State, I read about a really good weekend you had where you hit like 4 home runs, 2 grand slams, 13 RBIs in one weekend.
Yeah.
Were you just on a heater, or what was going on that weekend?
Yeah, I guess I was. That was senior weekend, I'm pretty sure. So that was like my last weekend playing at home. I think we had one more weekend on the road or something like that, or 2 more weekends on the road. But that was our last weekend on at our place. So I was just kind of, taking it all in and just kind of giving it the best that I had, just because I knew that was my last couple games there. I'm pretty sure I won National Player of the Week that week, and that was pretty cool. Winning it was crazy. I won National Player of the Week that week, but I didn't win the Conference Player of the Week,
Yeah,
so
strange.
I was like, all right, whatever, cool.
How many games
But,
was that? Is that just 2 games?
3
Or is
games.
that
It was over.
3?
It was over.
So in the moment, like that weekend, was it really setting in the kind of tear you're on?
It was. It definitely was. Once I hit the second grand slam, I think it was that Sunday, because I think I hit a grand slam Friday, and then Saturday I just hit 2 home runs. They weren't grand slams, and then that Sunday I hit another one. And once I hit that other one, I was like, okay, I got a pretty good chance to win some awards here. You know, I've hit almost 15 RBIs in 3 games, so I got a pretty good chance here.
So when you're on a heater like that, you feel that, you've got it.
Yeah, honestly, when you're on a heater like that, I mean, the ball is kind of looking like a beach ball. It's more of a talent to not get yourself out, honestly, because you feel so good at the plate. You just want to swing at everything and just put everything in play. But honestly, that's kind of when it gets the hardest, because you got to be more disciplined. Because now the pitchers don't, they're throwing the curveballs in the dirt. They're trying to get you to chase. They're trying to get you to swing at their pitches now. But honestly, when you're going that good, pitchers can make the pitches and you can still hit them. You can still hit that double and drive those 2-3 runs in, and that's kind of how I was feeling at that point. It's been other times too throughout my career. I would say that I felt like that, where I've kind of just gone on a heater and just, put up back-to-back games where it's just been, stellar performances. It's always fun.
What about on the other side of things, if you're going through a slump? Is there something you do to, like, get your mind right or get back on track?
I'm a big routine guy. So like I always believe that, if you're not necessarily doing anything wrong, stay with your routine. Because I believe a lot of times a slump, everybody's going to have a slump. Even if you are one of the best players, you're going to go through a time where you even just hitting hard line drives straight to people, and you just not finding the hole. And I just believe that, you keep your routine and keep, doing that consistently. I think things will work out. Now, there will be times where, there's something mechanically wrong, or there's something, you know, mentally wrong that you're doing with your approach and things like that. And I think those things will work itself out as well, because you know, you'll be doing the same thing over and over and over, and there's gonna be a time where you're gonna be like, all right, I gotta fix this. So you definitely you definitely go through those things in slumps, but I just, think that the routine part that kind of helps out a big time, because you're not just kind of wondering what you got to do and what you need to do. You kind of got an idea, and that kind of just keeps you grounded, I would say.
So speaking of routine, walk us through TJ's routine on game day.
Okay, so regular routine for me, say we got a 6:30 game that day, getting to the field around, I don't know, 1:30 ish, 2 o'clock ish, getting in there, talking to all the guys, stretching out, rolling out. And then I'm probably going to hit the cage, and it's just going to be very light work before we go out to the field for BP. So I'm just usually doing T work, or it's just usually front toss, whatever I'm feeling that day. But it's always just 50 to 70% swings off the tee, 50 to 70% swings off the front toss. And then basically just kind of get my body moving. Once I get the BP, whatever I'm focused on at BP, I'm really focusing on that. And if it's a great BP, I'm just kind of chilling until game time, maybe 15, 20 minutes before I go onto the field. I hit 5, 10 more off the tee just to make sure I'm still at the same spot. And then if sometimes I do have bad rounds and I don't feel good, so I'll go back after and get in the cage and, maybe get a little bit more BP from the coaches, or, one of my teammates throwing me BP. But that's like a typical kind of routine for me. And then I always have a shower. I mix in a shower, maybe like 2 or 3 during game day when I first get there, for sure, and then right before the game. So those are 2 off the bat that I know I get rid of. And then some type of pregame meal. I'm not a very superstitious guy on the pregame kind of meal. So whatever's kind of available to me, I'm gonna pretty much eat it. But definitely get me a little snack in there and get some fuel. I don't know how my routine is gonna go now with the banana ball though. It's gonna be a little different now, because we're gonna be I'm gonna be with a lot of fans, and it's just gonna be a little erratic kind of schedule. I'm gonna just kind of kind of go with the flow a little bit and see how things go, and then I'll find out a good routine that I'll be able to follow.
What is the MLB Draft League? I saw you played for the Mahoning Valley Scrappers.
So
What is
I'm
that
pretty
league?
sure that league, all the teams in that league, I'm pretty sure all those teams were partnered with affiliated ball teams, and those were the teams that kind of got cut when COVID happened, and they made that league. So, and that league is usually all guys that are straight out of college. I know they actually have like a summer ball league where college players play in it, but that's only in the first half. So they play that from like the middle end of May until I think the end of June or middle of June, and then they call that the first half, and then the second half is the paid portion where it's like the indie ball part. So those are usually the guys that are straight out of college. That was a pretty fun league too. I got to play in basically all the old minor league stadiums that they used to play in. But most of them actually, well, I guess a couple colleges play at them, like West Virginia, Penn State. I can't remember all the other teams that we play. I think it was 6 or 7 teams in that league at the time.
6, 7. Sorry, I had to do it.
Had to. Yeah, but yeah, it was pretty cool too.
So how awesome is it being a dad? We're both dads, so.
It's super awesome. I mean, he's growing. He's growing too fast for my liking, honestly. He's just right now, I think he's right at the 20-month mark, right at 19, 20-month mark. So he's like getting to almost everything. I mean, I'm kind of keeping up with him at this point,
Yeah.
chasing him around. He's getting quick. He's learning how to do, different things, and he's learning how to talk and make sentences, and he's understanding English pretty well now, so he kind of understands me pretty well now. It's kind of crazy just to see him grow up and like become like an actual human and not just be like a little baby in your arms anymore. You kind of see him growing his own personality, and that's like, man, I mean, that's one of the beauties of it, honestly. You can be proud of being a dad of that, just because you're helping him become his own man. So it's definitely a blessing to see him grow. You know, I just adore him so much, honestly. He's one of the main reasons. I mean, he is the main reason that that pushes me so hard to be the best that I can, not just for baseball and banana ball, but just being a man and a father. He pushes me to be the best I can just for him, for his future. So it's definitely been an exciting ride for sure.
Yeah, what else kept you going through this entire baseball journey? Because I mean, you could have just hung it up at any point and said, it's not going to happen. But here you are, getting drafted in
Mhm.
banana ball because you didn't, stop.
Yeah.
What kept you going?
It was a lot of just belief in myself, having that faith, not only myself but in God, and having my family around me and my friends, they've they've pushed me to be the person that I am today. Not just to not to make that impact just on myself, but I've always had that mindset where I can make an impact on other people throughout this game. Even if I didn't make it to the big leagues, I always wanted to be a baseball coach where, I kind of have my own little youth team and own little league team and all that, because I've always wanted to be that guy. And I think this is kind of just another avenue that, can help me down in the future, and not just right now, but even in 15, 20 years from now, where I can say, I kind of play banana ball, and, kids will go crazy for that. And, you know, so that's honestly what's kept me going, just having the right people around me and surrounding myself with the right environment and other people that, want to help impact the game of baseball and not just, impact it for themselves.
Outside of baseball, what are some of your other passions and what drives you?
Passions, I used to play video games a lot. Now that I became a dad, it's kind of,
Yeah.
a lot of my passions have become just honestly being a dad and being able to provide for my family. That kind of brings me joy now. Um, just being that provider and being that dad and being, that great father figure. Like my dad growing up, he was a, great father figure for me, and he set great examples for me. So I kind of, picked up a lot of things from him, and I'm kind of passing it down onto my son now. And so I mean, honestly, that's really my biggest passion, just being a dad now, and I get to, go spend all my time with him when I get off work and go play outside with him, go ride his bike, and I get to ride my bike and he follows me, or I'm following him, or, things like that. And then, being that partner for my partner as well, for my significant other, just being, that guy for her, that brings me joy as well. So honestly, just being a great family man now is just one of my biggest passions, and that's kind of what I'm focusing on now, which is natural, honestly, especially when you get in this position now, when you get older. Just being that great family man, that honestly just brings you joy by itself. So, but I mean, I still like to go hang out with friends. We still, I still kick it with my pops a lot, and we go watch. I'm a big Alabama fan, so Alabama football is huge down here. I'm very passionate about just sports in general. Bama basketball is really good now, so me and my family, we've been watching that heavily. But yeah, anything sports, anything that I can be a part, and spend time with the family, I'm all for it. That's my passion now.
Who are your pro teams?
Yeah, because
Uh,
Bama doesn't have any, right?
So
Hey,
Saints
they got
right
the
now.
Stallions. I don't mean to interrupt, but in the UFL, they got the
Okay.
Birmingham Stallions.
The Stallions are good. They're some champions. I think they won like the last 2 or 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm a Saints fan right now, sadly, and we're just not having a great season. We just haven't had
Dude.
the last 2 or 3 seasons. Honestly, haven't been too hot for us. I'm a Braves fan too, so it's been iffy there. We've been going through a lot of injuries at the Braves stadium. I mean, not at the Braves stadium, but as a Braves fan, we've been going through a lot of injuries. So it's been up and down as a Braves fan. But the Saints, we just got to get better. We got to get better for sure. Basketball, I'm not really too much of a huge fan of a certain team. I'm a Bron fan. I got my certain players that I like. I love LaMelo Ball, love John Morant. I've been a LeBron fan since I've known basketball. He's been in the league since I've been alive. So I've been
Yeah.
I've been a LeBron fan since forever. But I have my players that I like in the league, and I kind of keep up with them. But basketball and baseball, that's huge down in the South. So the Saints, not a big Falcons fan at all. We're division rivals. But the Braves and the Saints, those are my go-tos right there.
What's your opinion on Kalen DeBoer going from Saban to Kalen DeBoer? He's not doing
Yeah, is he the
bad,
guy?
but
He's not doing bad, honestly. I think a lot of people just kind of give him crap just because their expectations are just so high off of Nick Saban. I mean, Nick Saban is arguably the best coach to ever coach in college football.
he
So
is.
it's hard. It's hard to just come off of that. So he gets a lot of criticism. I like him, honestly. I mean, I think he's done a tremendous job of filling that role because, I mean, honestly, that role is one of the toughest roles to fill. I mean, you got your other hard coaching positions in college football. Like you got your Notre Dames, you got your LSU's, you got your Florida States. Those are all hard. But coming after Nick Saban, there's nothing compared to that. I mean, there's nothing, and I think he's done a well job, and I think he's gonna honestly have a great career there. He's gonna be one of the next great coaches, in my opinion, especially with the playoffs and the playoff system that it is now. I mean, so much easier to get into playoffs. I wouldn't say so much easier to get in playoffs and easier to win a championship. But when Nick Saban was coaching, there was only 2 teams in the championship only. So you had to be one of those 2. Now you only got to be one of the 12 to get a chance to play. So I think he's going to have a pretty tough roof. So
now everyone can pay their players, not just Bama. So that helps too.
Easy, Dan.
Hey now. That one
Just
wasn't
kidding.
like that.
Going back to your dad, you're named after your dad, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Junior.
So where did TJ come from?
So the middle name. So everybody calls my dad by his middle name. It was Trail. Well, it's Cuttrell, but everybody just called him Trail. And growing up, I was always around my dad, and everybody just called me Trail Junior. So it just came TJ, and TJ just stuck forever. I don't know why. I was never named LJ or CJ, but TJ was the one that stuck, and that's always what I went by. So Trail Junior.
Was your dad an athlete?
Because he was a basketball player though. So I was was crazy. Basketball was my first sport, probably all the way into 10th grade, and that's when I got offered by Alabama, and that's when I kind of made the switch to baseball being my first sport. But he was a basketball player growing up. I think he had 2 state championships uh, at high school, and then he ended up going to college for it. He went to Sheldon Community College, and he tried to go to Bama, and then he got hurt, and kind of gave it up at that time because he had me. So life kind of hit him really quick there. But he was a big basketball guy, and I was too growing up. So that's why I think I'm so passionate about kind of basketball playing or just watching it in general.
So why baseball? When did that change happen? Like, I'm going into baseball.
Once I realized I wasn't going to be taller than 6'1", 6'2", honestly, that's when I kind of had to have that realization with myself. It was more my dad too, because I even when I even got my first offer in baseball, like I still in my mind was like I'm going to college for basketball, like I'm playing basketball, like that's what I'm going to do. And I ended up getting hurt in basketball. That was kind of like another reason for me to kind of just put it down and just focus on baseball at the time. And but I mean, it was definitely a little hard decision for me, at least, because baseball and basketball, those 2 seasons kind of blend into each other. So if you're playing basketball all year, you're gonna miss the first part of baseball. And I had way more interest in me in baseball with colleges and later career aspirations in baseball than I did have basketball. So I kind of just had to come to that fact, and I wouldn't say necessarily give it up, but I came to the fact that I was going to be a baseball player.
So getting that offer from Bama, was that like dream come true?
Yes. Which is crazy. I think at the time, like, it was a dream come true, but I didn't know the magnitude of it because I was so young. Like, I was straight after my freshman year of high school. Also, my freshman year of high school, like, I was coming off an ACL injury playing basketball. So, like, I really didn't know the magnitude of it because I always wanted to go to college, and Bama was always my dream school, but like I didn't really come to realization and fruition until like I was actually like a senior in high school, and I was about to leave high school. Like, hey, I'm about to actually go play in the SEC for baseball right now and be on TV and things like that. So it was definitely a dream come true for sure, and I definitely cherished every moment I was there. I made great friends and great relationships while I was there, for sure.
So going back to the routine thing, if you had to pick one song that just gets ready to run through a wall, what's that song?
Man, I got so many songs.
Got to pick
Got
one.
so many. Let's see. It would definitely. I'm a big like supporter of like I wouldn't just say local rappers, but like we got a couple rappers out in Alabama that I really like. It would be definitely like a Big Yavo or No Cap song. They're both from Birmingham, and I'm trying to see. It would probably be this song called Big Yavo Freestyle. I listen to that song consistently on the daily for sure. Every workout, that's getting me hyped. Every game, just about. I'm listening to some Big Yavo for sure. He's a big 205 Birmingham guy, and he actually was crazy. I played against him in high school in baseball, but he ended up being a rapper, so good for him. He money that way, but hey, he used to be a baseball player. He just came out with an album not too long called Dingers. It's so funny. A lot of people are like, why is he naming it Dingers? What Dingers do you mean? Little thing, he was a baseball player. He wanted to be. He wanted to be. So, but yeah.
So going back to your Northwoods League days, we interview a lot of the current guys from last year and the year before, but if you can remember, how were those road trips?
See, I think we kind of got blessed on the road trip side. We didn't have too many long road trips. Like when we would go play, I feel like we would go play, and then the next team that we would play at, it would maybe be 2.5, 3 hours away. So we kind of got blessed with that. But it did give me the first experience of long road trips. Like when we went to Kalamazoo one time. I remember that, and that was definitely a long road trip. So like you have those long road trips where you be on the bus for 8 to 11 to 12 hours. So that kind of got me kind of prepared for indie ball a little bit because indie ball you have those same long road trips, and even in affiliate ball, if you were in affiliate ball too, you have those same road trips as well. But they were fun too. You made them fun because you either playing poker on the bus or you're playing some type of card game or at the time I think Among Us was big and we were playing Among Us on the phone and stuff like that or you're playing Mafia on the bus. I mean,
Yeah.
we played so much Mafia on the bus. I mean, Mafia
They
was
still
like,
do it.
As I say, yeah, that's
yeah.
still going on.
I mean, we played Mafia all the time and games like Password, stuff like that. So like, I mean, that definitely, used to pass the time. Next thing you know, you got a 10-hour bus ride and 8 of them was gone because you've been playing Mafia for 8 hours. So it's just like, oh wow, okay.
So did you guys share beds back in the day too?
Share beds like on the bus.
No, like in the hotels if you stayed over. Like the roomies, like you'd have like 4 guys to a room
Yeah,
or
yeah. I can't. I think we would do 3 to a room, and what would happen, we would rotate.
Yeah.
I think it was you would rotate like whoever got the bed, or if you were a starter and you're in the room with 2 relief pitchers, like they obviously slept in a bed together, you know, and the position player got the bed, but we kind of had feel. I think it was 3 to a room though, which kind of sucked. So it was always that chance that you'd be sleeping with somebody, you know. Yeah. It's a grind. It's a grind for sure. It's indie ball, but some really that's what it is.
So going back to Bama, in your lifetime, who, in your opinion, is the greatest Alabama athlete that you've seen?
Not just baseball
Yeah.
player, athlete. Oh,
Yeah.
that's tough, man.
good question.
That's a great question. Best Alabama athlete.
In your lifetime, though.
If we're going off like just athletic performance, I'm gonna go somebody like Derrick Henry. But if we're
Yeah.
gonna go on like if we're gonna add everything, like we're gonna add like the success, like just the personality, the aura of just themselves, you gotta be somebody like Jalen Hurts or a guy like Colin Sexton. He was a guy that kind of just came on campus and just had that it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tua, those kind of guys. Those would kind of be the top athletes in my lifetime. And I went to school with these guys too, so like I would see them too. So it's kind of crazy to see like all these NFL guys, and I was just in the dining hall with them, watching them get a steak. You know what I'm saying? And now Jalen
Right.
Hurts he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league now, and I was just watching them get a steak at Malmore Athletic Center. It's just like, oh wow. But it would definitely be one of those types of guys. I'm trying to think. And then on the baseball side, in my lifetime, it would be somebody like Jake Smith. He's actually from kind of like my hometown, so he was one of the better hitters at Alabama. But just overall athlete, it would definitely be somebody like Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, those type of guys. They kind of set the standard for Alabama. Uh, I put Bryce Young up there too, honestly. He was one of those, guys and better athletes, and set the example for a lot of guys that came after him. So
When he asked that question, I thought of Julio Jones immediately.
yeah, Julio. That was my early years. Right? I was about 8, 9 when he was at college then, but he was he was at the beginning of that Saban era, so he kind of helped kick that off for Saban there. Alabama native too. He was from Alabama.
What about Mac Jones?
Mac Jones, what a great he's a go-to. I mean, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. The list literally goes so. I mean, you got Devontae Smith, another Heisman winner.
Jalen
I
Waddle.
mean, Jaden Waddle. I mean, so many. I mean, you got the list just literally goes on and on and on and on.
crazy.
Honestly,
Josh
and then
Jacobs.
you got Josh Jacobs. You got Brandon Miller, basketball player. I mean, he
Yeah.
was another GOAT.
Marcus Sears.
Mark Sears. I mean, Alabama legend. Honestly, he's from Alabama too, so he's all Alabama. Yeah, he's a legend.
So we asked this is the final question on every episode. And it is a hot dog a sandwich?
Technically, it is, in my opinion. I pissed y'all off with that one. But you gotta think about it. Look. You think about it. If you turn the hot dog bun sideways, it'll be just like a sub, right? The sub If you turn it sideways, it's cut in the middle, not disconnected at the back, and you put meat in the middle. That's a sandwich.
But
So
most sub
technically,
sandwiches, they cut it through at the end. They make it together and then they slice it through before they give it to you.
that is true.
And
That
you
is
don't
true.
want your hot dog bun to be disconnected because then it falls through the back and it takes you off.
That's what I'm saying. But you wouldn't want your. I mean, necessarily. I guess. I mean, it doesn't really matter. But yeah,
No, it
It-
matters. What were you going to say?
you
I
can.
like the debate.
You can look at it either way. You can look at it either way. You can look at it either way. I don't think it's a sandwich necessarily, but if somebody were to say, "Hey, it is a sandwich," and I wouldn't necessarily disagree with them either. You know.
But
What's
you
your
think it is a
answer?
sandwich, is what you're telling us.
We need an answer.
You need an answer.
We keep track of these results.
I'm gonna go with this being a sandwich. That's what I'm gonna go with.
We're not mad. We're just disappointed. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The consensus has been no, but there has been some yeses. So you're not alone.
Yeah. I mean, it's bread and meat. Bread and meat.
Yeah.
That's a sandwich. That's a sandwich.
And
It's
usually
bread and
the
meat and you
guys-
close it.
Yeah.
And usually the guys that say it is a sandwich are from down south. So,
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. That makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense.
all right, TJ. Well, thanks for joining us on the pod. Can't wait to watch you in Banana Ball. I know you're going to do great. You've done great at every stop you've been in your baseball career, so I don't think that's going to change. And I guess we're party animal fans. I didn't have a Banana Ball team, but we do now.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, well, party
might have
animals
to,
are gonna be partying all year.
Yeah. Might have to get you back on here.
For sure.
You can tell us all about your first season after you finish it.
For sure. I definitely anytime that you guys want to
Yeah.
get a call in, get a pod in, I'm always gonna be down for sure.
Because now
Oh,
you're
yeah.
a friend of the pod.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna be down for that.
All right, TJ.
All right.
We'll see ya.
Appreciate it.